So I've been playing around with this new cover 4 run D. We know how important it is to stop the run in Madden 18, and to do that, you don't have to look any further than this setup. You really don't. It gets up to 11 players in your run fit, putting each player, in my opinion, in the best possible position to stop runs in the backfield. On top of that, it adds much more in terms of underneath coverage to stock cover 4. But to be clear, this isn't an every down defense against players that pass the ball a lot. It's more of a hyper-aggressive run D that will stop the run first, and then we'll adjust to the pass after that. And I really don't think I'm over-sensationalizing it. Anyway, this will probably be a longer video, but there are a lot of little things that go with this setup that make it well worth it. So let's get started with the cover 4 MEG FRD, or cover 4 man everywhere he goes, fire run D. Cover 4 is kind of funny in this game. It finally has the safeties in the run fits as they should, and they even kind of starting to help out underneath on things like post routes pretty well if they have the 91 zone coverage threshold, but it's still largely a pseudo prevent type of defense in this game, when in reality it's everything but. In fact, at its most aggressive, it should be something akin to a cover 0, where the defenders read how the routes develop and convert to man coverage based on some really simple rules. It's obviously nothing like that in this game. Even in its absolute most passive form, the cover 4 quarters check, you should see some match man concepts that at the very least have unused zones looking for work. So let's check out just one example just to show you how basic and silly it is. So we'll go over the cover 4 here, and we'll just pick a random play, zone a corner, sure, 2x2. Okay, so obviously, yeah, cover 4. I mean, some cases you have 2 hook curls in the middle, but the stock cover 4 is you have a 3 receiver hook in the middle, some quarter flats that are almost useless, and then 4 deep quarter zones. Okay, so a lot of the times why I think it's kind of unviable to run cover 4 is that you're really exposed underneath, only 3 zones, as opposed to say a cover 4 or a Tampa 2 where you have 4 underneath zones. And I just think these guys up here are way too passive. So 2 years ago, they introduced match coverage to some of these coverages, but I think they not screwed up. I don't think they had the time to do these deep zones. Like the 3 receiver hook is somewhat of a match coverage. Even these quarter flats have some match principles, but these guys kind of just drift. Okay, so like I was saying, in its most passive form, the quarters check is that if we focus on just one of these players, say the free safety, if he has no threats in his area, okay, so if the number 2 receiver on his side, Antonio Brown here, if he's not running directly at him, he can kind of forget about him. Or if any posts or deep crossers are coming to his area. So if there's nothing there, he should help his cornerback with a streak over here. So if we have a streak from Odell Beckham and the free safety has nothing to do, he should double up on him deep. Okay, now that doesn't really matter so much in this game. We know that deep streaks don't really, they don't get converted, right? Aggressive catch was tuned down, but it's still kind of silly that it's like that. So let's just run it. Let me get off him, and we have a post route here. I'll even, get him out of the way, fade him to the right. So there's no reason that this free safety shouldn't go help out that streak. But you see, he kind of just backpedals. Okay, so he should be in position to help out there. Now, again, it doesn't matter in this situation, but it's silly. And then if he's not helping there, he should at least be underneath. So he's neither helping above, nor is he helping underneath. So if we have, I don't know, something like that, I don't know. If we snap the ball, he's backpedaling. There's no deep routes there. He's still backpedaling. And we have this simple curl route. So in a sense, I get why you can't have them aggressive underneath, because good players will expose that with double posts or some other concepts that can expose them over the top, and then that'll leave kind of casual fans really, really disappointed. But then, like, I don't know. It's either they put in the effort to make them smart, or just make them passive so at least they don't get beat over the top. I don't know. I think there's a lot of work to be had there. But yeah, so it's almost completely useless unless we start to work in some checks underneath. And cover 4 that's another good thing about it. Real life is that it's really flexible. You can do a lot of different things, and you can do that, I think, with this game. So using different man coverage or different underneath zones, we can make it somewhat viable. And then you could also use it as safety and be a +1 underneath. But since we all love controlling the linebackers so much, I won't really worry about that here. I know a lot of you don't like to do that. Even me, I have tried it before, but it's not as fun as just going on that middle linebacker and lurking everything in the middle there. But it's something I'd suggest that you try out from time to time if you decide to go this route and put this into your game. I think especially in the red zone, it could be a good option. But yeah. Anyway, the version of cover 4 I want to go over here is the cover 4 MEG, where we're going to play press man coverage with our corners. Now, it's not a real cover 4 MEG, since usually the corners will let slants and drags and other quick inward breaking routes go. But it's the best we can do. If you want to learn more about different ways of running cover 4, I left 2 great resources in the description below. I'd love to see stuff like this in Madden. Not only would it be a lot more fun, introducing variation to some of these boring stock coverages, but I think it would add to the lack of skill gap that everybody's been talking about lately. Back to the topic at hand, though, you'll probably ask, why on earth would we man up our cornerbacks if man coverage is so bad in Madden 18? Well, if we do it in a certain way, we can actually get really good coverage out of it. Plus, we can get some really glitchy run support that I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of by now. So yeah, this way of running man coverage is actually really important, and it could be probably a video on its own. So you could use it in situations that aren't just cover 4, but I'll use it here, and then I don't know. If you don't see it, you don't see it. but yeah, so what we're gonna do is, and we'll stay in this. No, I don't like this one. We'll get out of this play. I made just a really simple playbook here with a bunch of these kind of better runs in the game, and I included some pass plays that I wanted to just demo how the passing works out before we really get into the run game, which is the most important part here. So we'll go into flanker dig here, and then again 4-3 normal, cover 4, and the setup is baseline, press coverage, and then you just man up our deep quarters. Okay, something like that. I will reset this, and I want to just show you why we do that instead of regular man coverage. Okay, so if we're playing off man coverage, you can get really exposed with pretty much any route. You're playing off of him, you're asking to get burnt underneath. Okay, we'll do a slant route here. I think he ends up being pretty good on this just because it's Allen. He's so fast. Anyway, you're asking to get beat there. If you play regular press man, okay, something like that, you're still going to get burnt in the middle because just the press animations, I think, are broken in this game. So he's going to get toasted there. I mean, ideally a user would be there, but anyway, you get the point. You can press man coverage and shade outside, which a lot of people know gets you a bit better animations at the line there. But if you shade outside and you don't have help over the top, which in a sense you kind of do with this strong safety here, just because he has 91 zone coverage. But anyway, I'll just show you, if he's running a streak from the side, he's going to win every single time. He's going to get outside release. You see that? And he's got a step on him. Okay. Now, the quarter was there, but it's something you don't want to do. Actually, let me do that again. outside shade. And a lot of times he can still get beat in the middle. Let's see. It wasn't bad, actually. But the best, I think, by far is to baseline press and then man your cornerbacks. Okay, so that way, if we run a slant, he gets, you see that? He totally mugs him. Just take a look at the instant replay real quick. Look how long he stays in a spot here. They're fighting, and then he's right on him. And believe it or not, man coverage rating and press coverage rating actually matter here. So I tested it out with some weaker cornerbacks. They do get burned. So as long as you get a decent cornerback here, he's going to jam him here for a long time. And then if he has speed to keep up with them, that's even better. And then on top of that, so if we go... So do that again, and then we run the streak. Well, we're still good right there. Look at that. He's neck and neck with him. So even if we didn't have help from that safety, he's not going to get burnt. Let's look at the other side, even things like post routes. So with the post route, let's just ignore the fact that we have free safety help there. Even with free safety help, without free safety help, that cornerback's doing a good job on him. And that's Odell Beckham, okay? So this is Night Train Lane on Odell Beckham Jr. Okay, gets that perfect inside alignment, and he's right on him. And the safeties are there to make the play anyway. Okay, so in my opinion, that is definitely the best way to play man coverage in this game. So even if you don't want to do this in quarters, if you want to try out cover one press, you can definitely do that. So baseline press and re-man your corners. Now, if you're doing that, just a quick tip, you'll want to do auto-align your defense so that when you base align, your nickel corner will still be aligned with the slot wide receiver. Okay, so you don't want to be matching up a linebacker onto him. But anyway, yeah. So let's get out of this. We're not, again, going totally over past the. Let's get into just one of these stretch plays. So we know, I think Zan showed it, and I think a lot of the pros are using it already. So this is definitely nothing new. But if you don't know it, that same baseline press man coverage that's so good in the passing game, so good in the press, doesn't get blocked at the line of scrimmage. So not only do you have these 9 guys in the line of scrimmage, in the run fit here, now you also have these cornerbacks that are gonna fly in and be untouched really. And if they have a big hitter and then high hit pattern, they'll come in and then unexpected, they'll lay a boom on the running back, and a lot of times you can get fumbles like that. So this is the only way in the game that you can get 11 men in the run fit. Unless, of course, you run commit, but that's obviously not feasible. So let's run this. Cornerback comes in, makes a play on the ball. Okay? So if you think about it this way, where are you going? Okay. So you have a 7-man box right here. You have 4 high block shedders. You have your outside linebackers and your middle linebackers. So really in the best position to make a play on the ball. A play on the ball carrier. So for inside runs, first of all, your opponent's going to see that and not want to go inside because you have 7 men there. And even if he does, you have 7 men there ready to tackle him behind... hopefully behind the line of scrimmage. And that's not even talking about the safeties yet, and we actually have a really nice adjustment for them. And yeah, so if they want to do an outside run, like you just saw there, there's no chance there. Unless they maybe break a tackle or something like that. But we have another nice adjustment here that I want to go over. So as you see in the run fits, the force defender is your outside linebacker here. And then your safety on that side is the alley. So he's going to fill that hole right there. But I don't think, maybe that's legit what they do in real life, but I don't think that's what's going to be best for you in this game. So there is a way that we can get this safety to be the force defender. What we need to do is, and now, admittedly the adjustments are getting kind of heavy here, but I definitely think it's worth it. And then if you get it down, you can definitely get this down a couple seconds. But you're going to blitz all your linebackers by pressing R1 and down on the right stick, and then you're going to zone them all again. Now you see that all these guys are going to be shooting the gaps in the middle here, helping you out in the middle. And then not only do you have an unblocked cornerback here, you have a safety as a force defender. Because you did that, you're going to have to put these guys back in their flats. Okay, so that can definitely take a while, but get good at it because it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to run this again. Pay attention to the strong safety there. So that time he got blocked, but just because there's that slot defender. But we had 4 guys there ready to make a play on the ball. Okay, so this guy came in through. We had me. We had the outside linebacker here. We had the defensive end setting the edge. And the safety there who was ready to make a play. Okay, so in certain situations that works out better for us than others. So we see that, first of all, there's no way that you should ever let the stretch and the dive from wide trips ever be a problem, because you have a 7-man box and you have a free cornerback coming through untouched and then that safety. So there's no reason that they should ever get a yard on you. Let's get back into it. Cover 4. Which one did I want to go to? Let's say wing pair stretch. So what do you do in a situation where you don't have a wide receiver out wide that you can baseline press on? So like you have on this case, we can do it to Odell Beckham Jr. here, but if we do the same over here, it's to the tight end. So in the passing game, if that tight end goes inwards, that cornerback is totally out of position to make a play on the ball. So in the passing game, it's best to have him in a high-low with this outside linebacker. So if the outside linebacker is in a cloud flat, you put the cornerback in a hard flat and be really aggressive there. Or you can put the cornerback in a cloud and the outside linebacker in a hard flat, which I think is probably the better option there. Or put that outside linebacker as another vert hook or hook curl in the middle to just help you out in the middle there. And I'd do that all the way until they show you that they can beat you deep into the outside. Okay, so do that until they show you that. Now again, it's one of those situations where we want to defend a stretch, we want to defend a toss or outside run, but we can't have that free run support on the side there. So this is the situation where having a force defender from depth, from our strong safety here, is really going to help us out. So when we go, don't know why he's lining up like that, but if I reset, he should be kind of out here. Where the outside linebacker is the force defender, there are situations where he'll get kind of caught up in this whole muddiness here, and he might get blocked, But in my opinion, the best possible way to defend that outside run without overcommitting as a user, right? We still want to be able to come in here and help stop the dive. So the best way is just, like I said before, blitz all your linebackers, zone them all again, put them in their assignments, and you'll have your strong safety as the force. Okay, so I don't even have to really do anything here. Maybe I'll just kind of stay here. And if I run that stretch, you'll still get those block sheds, but even if those don't come about, like if you don't have a great defensive line, that safety is going to make a play. Let's do it one more time. See it comes out there? Just like that. If he's a big hitter, you don't even have to click on. He might force a fumble for you. So yeah, that one's that. You don't even actually really see that one too much. I think the best stretch plays are the ones that have a wide receiver wide. blocking. But I think this one just kind of helped me iterate my point there. I will go to the other one, single back ace pair, which I believe is the stretch that problem runs. I'm not sure. So halfback slant. So let's just run it. Just run it stock, and I'll get off the middle linebacker here. So you see how the outside linebacker gets blocked there really easily. Now, putting the strong safety as the force defender, he comes through untouched and makes a play on the ball. So you have options here. You don't always have to rely on the man corner here. So in situations where you want to mix it up, you want to have him in his quarters assignment, or you want to trap the offense with a cloud flat or something like that. Or in the future, if they patch it, this is the next best thing. So let's show it one more time to make sure it is not a fluke. We'll go over here in the far corner. Oh. So actually, in that case, he wasn't the force defender, and I'll just show you how slow he is to react. So you see the outside linebacker comes in, and look, I'm already running with the ball, and he's kind of just, should I fill? I don't know. But when he is the force, yeah, he's much more urgent. Oh. Yeah, the cornerback came out there. But still makes a play on the ball. And then what's good about that, again, is that you have then your bulk in the middle of the field. And then as a middle linebacker, you don't have too much responsibility to go out there and scrape. Right? So you can really key on the dive, or you can just take up a blocker and let your free safety do the work, or your cornerback that's coming through untouched in a lot of situations. We'll just show that again. It's going to look something like that. And the safety's free to make a play. Okay, I really like that. Let's go to Deuce close here. Halfback stretch. Let's run it stock. Middle linebacker makes a play. Actually, the best run Ds are the ones where the user doesn't even have to do anything. Let me take him out of the play. Okay. Now, if we run the adjustment, right, something like that, maybe put him in a cloud flat. Strong safety's in the run fit. Look at how it comes in. Nothing you can do there. Okay, now the only downside for this when running against the stretch out of Deuce close is that it messes up the Wham D. As you guys know from my very first video, is that if you're running 4-3 normal against the Wham, there's nothing you can do, nothing you have to do. The middle linebacker is going to come free untouched and make a play on the ball carrier. Okay, but if you do this setup that's really good against outside runs, it doesn't do as well. You see that? But luckily it's not too tricky. So all you have to do is just pinch your defensive line. And then as a user, you don't even have to wait. You can just go down and crush him. Okay, so that's all you have to remember, is that all that's different is, other than your regular adjustments, if you want to stop the Wham, you just have to pinch down. Okay, so there's no reason he should ever gain a yard on you if he's in Deuce close. Okay, the Wham is going to get crushed by you in the middle, and the stretch is going to get covered to either side, really. So it's good symmetrically too. So if he flips it over here, well, now our free safety is the force defender that's going to come in untouched. Okay, I'm trying to go through these quickly just because I don't want it to be the longest video ever, but I want to go over some of these better plays just so you guys know that it's really viable stuff. Okay, so now shotgun inside zone D. You can, again, do the same thing. Okay, so you have 7 men in the run against the inside zone. You have the free safety, and you can even bring these guys in a bit. And you have the unblocked cornerback over here in case they want to bounce it outside. Although in this case, again, since the wide receivers... No, I think in this case, since the wide receiver is off the line of scrimmage, he won't be able to block the cornerback. But anyway, none of that even matters, because if you're coming up against somebody that's spamming inside zone from shotgun formations, and this even includes pistol, and that'll be the last thing I get into, which is right after this. All you have to do is flip your defense so that the one tech is on the side of the running back. So in this case, the one technique is on the opposite side. If we flip him to this side, we can come through untouched. Okay, and this even works against, like I said, pistol. So one of you asked, I think a few of you asked over the time, is this pistol bunch tight end, this halfback zone, which is getting people a lot of issues because they'll cut it outside. They have like 10 blockers to the left, and it's really tricky. The setup is, because it is a zone play and it is a shotgun play, so it isn't anything different than the inside zone from shotgun. You just align your one technique to be on the opposite side of where you think you're running to. Run the adjustments. So you have the safety and the force here. If they go to the right, you have the safety and the force here. If they go to the left, though it doesn't matter because we're going to hit them in the backfield. Just like that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Like I think those are some of the better formations and the better run plays to go over here. So definitely go over that, add that to your game plan, check it out over Weekend League, check it out over your qualifying over the week, and let me know how it goes. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.